understand, whenever the choice comes, go always for the master, not for the rituals. When you catch the stone, don't miss the energy inside the stone. One who knows the unmanifest Brahman and at the same time the manifest Brahman, having overcome death by the worship of the manifest Brahman, attains to immortality by the worship of the unmanifest Brahman. Here they synthesize both. At one point they synthesize both. Sincerity, when the sincerity is brought, they both get synthesized. Somebody was asking me, Swamiji, I am seeing you are the first Swami who is connecting the mantra and the meditation, rituals and meditation. Always the people who are ritualistic are against meditation. People who are meditator are against the rituals. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, why are you, I am seeing first time you are bringing both together. These rituals and meditation. This is the sutra. This is the reason. Here they say, when they are synthesized with a proper sincerity, both can help. Both can help. But not just, especially these rituals, I tell you, in a way they are harmful. When you don't do the mantras properly, when you just pour the water, and I saw that day that in the Kedarnath, how many of you seen that ritual being done? You saw that how they actually disrespect that Shiva? Understand? If I am sitting in front of you, will you shout or misbehave? Will you move your bodies in your own way? But if they are shouting and misbehaving, means, do you think they have the faith that Shiva is there? Do you think they have the faith that Shiva is there? Just understand, you want to do Pada Puja for me. Will you just pour the water this side and that side and throw the things on me and do all sorts of, you will shout out the next person? Will you do that? When you can't do for me, will you do that for Shiva? But these people are doing that same thing only there. Throwing and beating and shouting. They are doing the same thing in front of Shiva. If you do all these things in front of me, is it not disrespecting me? Just understand this simple logic. If you do all these things in front of me, you will have my blessings or curse, tell me. Of course, I won't curse, that is different. But you will have only my dissatisfaction. Am I right? If the same thing is done in front of Shiva, what we will have from Shiva? Only? Then understand what these rituals are going to help you. Instead of that, if you sincerely feel that Shiva is there, O Lord, accept my gratitude and prayers. If any of you have seen me doing namaskar, that is enough. Any of you have seen me doing namaskar there in the Kedar? In such a crowd and dirty thing, just few minutes only I did namaskar. Nothing else. Just that sincere namaskar is more than enough. You will see that, feel the divine. Actually, one of our girl, your girl or Sweta, I do not know. They came and asked me, Swamiji, they are all running and shouting on, where is God? I told her, this is God, this is Shivji, do namaskar. They are all running around, don't worry. But this is God, do namaskar. Kids were actually surprised, where is God? When you run around like that, what will happen? That is what I have seen in some, one sadhu, he is called Jadadari. I have seen him. He used to carry a small Krishna's vigraha. And Krishna lying like this and having a butter in the hand, that vigraha. He used to feel so much that it is Krishna. In the summer, in the winter days, he will make only hot water and bathe that idol. He will not pour cold water. He will tell, no, he will feel cold. How can I put cold water on him? And not only that, he has got a small box in the holes, made in the box, so that he can breathe. He will put him in that box and only then carry. He will not tie and carry. He has got a box, in that he has made a hole. I told, why holes, Babaji? No, he has to breathe. And in the night time when he sleeps, he has got a small mosquito net. In that mosquito net only he will put him and make him sleep. Feeling that God is there. Feeling, it's not just an idol. That sincerity. If you have seen me doing yagam or a puja, you can see I really feel that divine is there. Somebody asked me, I do 10 hours, 9 hours rituals. The ashram, sometimes the Chandi Homandal. And it is done 9-10 hours. I sit continuously and do. They asked me, how you are able to sit, Swamiji? You are not even looking this side, that side. I told them, if you get some guest, if you receive some honorable guest, will you not sit with him without looking this side and that side? If the guest is honorable, will you switch on the TV? Will you switch on all these things and move here and there? You will sit with him. You will spend time with him. You will relate with him. Will you do anything else? If you sit on the TV and go more on what it means, you are telling him, Chalo, it's time to leave. If you get a real good guest, guest who is respected by you, will you do all these things? So if you really see that divine has come to you as a guest in the form of fire, he is there inside, will you be able to move here and there and do anything? Somebody was asking me, the pujaris, they pour here water and here they pour ghee, here they pour coffee. What type of puja? Here ghee, here? What type of puja can be done? So if you really feel the Lord is there, can you do all these things? Can you shout around? Can you run around? It means what? They never feel that. This one example is more than enough. Will you do all these things in front of me? Never. So if you are doing there, what it means? You don't feel it is God, you feel only it is stone. If you feel it is God, you are helped. If you feel it is stone, you missed the whole thing. It's like a elephant has gone to take bath, but it has taken all mud and put it on himself. Same thing happens if you go there and feel it is not God. Even if you are in your own native place in Tamil Nadu, you will feel at least, oh, God is there in the Himalayas, God is there in Kedarvatri. If you come here and you have not felt it is God, you have felt only it is stone, and when you go back, even if you remember Kedarvatri, oh, what is there? I have seen everything. It is there. You will not feel the God is there. So understand, if you come here and felt God is there, then you have been helped, or you have been only harmed.
In this temple, even whatever you put, they are putting into the empty only.
And that I understand. Yeah. See, if you stand there and pray, that is different. Of course, that pandas are different and these pandas are different. They are Kerala Nambudris. Nambudris have got their own discipline. Nambudris have got their own culture. That is why they are preserving the whole science in Kerala. Ayurveda, Mantrika, and Vedanta, whole thing they are able to preserve in the Kerala. And the Selambam. You know, Kalari. If one guy who is well versed in Kalari, if he takes the stick and rolls, around him 500 people, if they stand and throw stones, not even one stone will hit him. 500 people will stand around him and throw stones at him. And not even one stone should hit him. Only then he is a professional Kalari. All these arts has been preserved by them because of their discipline. Yes. All from here only. All from here. You see, all from Kalari only, the Buddhists have taken. Anyhow. The face of that Brahman, sitting in the midst of the abundance of light, is covered with a golden curtain. O Lord, remove that curtain so that I, a seeker of truth, may attain to the Supreme. Now the disciple is praying. I told you where the inverted comma ends. This is a statement by the disciple, not by the master. Master never has to, they don't have to pray. The disciple is praying, "Oh Lord," the last step is asking, "I am able to see your face, but only a small golden veil is there, golden curtain is there. Please remove that also. Let me have your darshan." Actually, the golden curtain means nothing but the master's form. When you caught the master's form, you come almost to the last step. Only the last step that master's form is there. He's praying, "Let this form also disappear into the formlessness. Let me have the supreme truth." That's what I'm telling you again and again. In Anandagandha, when the energy starts flowing, drop my form. Go into the energy. The same thing, here he says, the last golden curtain means last form. See, my form will be there as long as you have attachment for other forms. When your attachment for all other forms is dropped, then my form also will be dropped. My form is like I'm telling you that small example. To burn the dead bodies, in India they will use a big bamboo stick. Till that body is totally burnt, because the body will fall this way, that way. They will use the stick and put that body again and again into that fire. Once the dead body is totally burned, the stick also will be thrown into that fire and it will be burnt. The master's form is that stick. It will burn the attachment to all other forms. One by one, all the other forms will be burnt. The moment all the other forms are burnt, this form also will be thrown into that fire and burnt. The last stick which is in your hand, the last golden curtain, is master's form only. That's what here his disciple is praying. The face of that Brahman sitting in the midst of the abundance of light is covered with a golden curtain. "O Lord, remove that curtain, so that I, a seeker of truth, may attain to the supreme enlightenment." So, let you all also intensely meditate in Anandagandha. Go into the energy and drop my form. Then you will see, you will have the same experience of formlessness, that's supreme. O sun, nourisher and supporter of the world, O lonely traveler in the sky, O Yama, O son of Brahman, I beseech you to withdraw your rays. I see your form full of grace and goodness. I am that one who is sitting in the circle of the suns. Aha. The 16th sloka is prayer, 17th sloka is declaration. Understand? In 16th he is praying to Lord for enlightenment. In 17th he has become enlightened. All these things only an enlightened person will know the difference. Yes, tell me.
Swamiji, 10 of your devotees are praying outside to be allowed in.
Let them pray. After the class they will be allowed in. The beautiful sutra says, the earlier sutra is a prayer, next sutra is a declaration, that I became enlightened. I became enlightened. Actually, these differences only an enlightened person will be able to tell you. If you see in the same way, the attitude of first sloka and attitude of second sloka is totally different. How to understand? In first he is praying. The second he is declaring, I am that one who is sitting in the circle of the suns. Means what? I am the one who is the light of suns, who is the enlightenment, who is the energy of suns. O sun, nourisher and supporter of the world, O lonely traveler in the sky, O Yama, O son of Brahman, I beseech you to withdraw your rays. Not I pray you, I tell you. See the words. I tell you, withdraw your rays. It's like order, because he has become enlightened. I see your form full of grace and goodness. I am that one who is sitting inside in the circle of the suns. In the circle of the suns. He just declares his enlightenment. He just declares his being. After the enlightenment, the joy is declared. Now let my spirit meet the absolute pervading all throughout the vital air, and let my body be reduced to ashes. Oh, my mind full of ego and desires. Now remember your past actions, remember your past deeds. Here actually he declares, now I am enlightened, now let me leave the body. He is telling, now let my spirit meet the absolute. Now let me become enlightened, let me become Paramatman. Let my body be reduced to ashes, let my body be burnt. Let my mind, which was full of ego and desires. Now remember, did I not? You see, actually, he himself telling his mind, how many times I told you to behave properly. Now you see, you have become useless. I have become enlightened. At least now you remember your past deeds and let you disappear. When he became enlightened, he is teaching lessons to his body and mind. He is telling, fool, let you be reduced to ashes, now enough. He is telling his mind, fool, you understand, all your ego and desires have become useless. Remember your past actions and past deeds and disappear. When a person becomes enlightened, it shows his courage, how he discards his body and mind. O fire, lead us to the lightest path. O God, the knower of all knowledge and actions, destroy our deceitful sins. We bow to you innumerable times. You see, this sutra is neither by disciple nor by the guru. It is by the audience. Understand? Now whatever I spoke, the Upanishad ends. This sutra, O fire, lead us to the righteous path. O God, the knower of all knowledge and actions, destroy our deceitful sins. We bow to you innumerable times. This is by audience. And audience means the people who are listening the Upanishads from the masters. They recite this sloka. It means they are now, as of now, we have learnt all these things. Let us pray to the divine to lead us to the righteous path. O God, the knower of all knowledge and actions, destroy our deceitful sins. We bow to you innumerable times. The last sutra says, it is actually supposed to be repeated by us. We have all heard now all these things. Now we all will pray to the divine to make this everything as an experience for our being. To make the whole thing as an experience for our being. To make this whole thing as a living thing for our life. O fire, lead us to the righteous path. O God, the knower of all knowledge and actions, destroy our deceitful sins. We bow to you innumerable times. Antandama pravishantiye bodhimupasade tado bhuya ivate tamoyamu sambodhyago rataha anya devago sambhavadanyadago rasambhavat iti shushrumadhiranam yenastat vichachakshire sambodhincha vina sanjayastat vedo saha vinasena mrutyun tirtva sambhutya amritamashnute हिरण्यमयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्या विहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पोषन्न वावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये पोषन्न कर्षेयमसूर्यप्राजापत्य व्यूहरश्मिन् समूह तेजो यद्दे रूपकल्याणतमं तद्दे पश्यामि योऽसावसौ पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि वायुरनिलममृतदेतं भस्मान्तग्नो शरीरम् ॐ क्रतो स्मर कृतघ्नो स्मर क्रतो स्मर कृतघ्नो स्मर अग्नेनय सुपदाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोत्य मज्जुहुरान हुरानमेनो भूयिष्ठां दे नम मुक्तिं विदेम युयोत्यस्मज्जु हुरानमेनो भूयिष्ठां दे नम मुक्तिं विदेम